guys, we're back at it again with another video. It's been a while, but we're actually working on my station wagon today, the school bus. So last time I saw you guys, or showed you guys the car, it only had the engine in it, and it didn't really have much. Since then, I've done my own intercooler piping. I think my downpipe was on in that video, I don't know, but intercooler and piping is done. It's got a Fueltech FT450. I never really vlogged any of that because the welding process was a pain, because there was a big learning curve, and the FT450 was a real simple add-on. But today we are building a mid plate. We are doing a lot of the last bit of finalizing as far as like oil lines and just power wires, stuff like that, and hopefully at the end of the video we'll see it run. But let's get to the shop and let's see what we got going on. This is NTO Designs. He makes a whole lot of, he's got big CNCs, he's got a big CNC, a mini CNC, other like lathes, does bar stock and stuff. He's designed his own CSS type deal, and they've made over 800 horsepower with these so far. They ran out of turbo. He's done stainless shift knobs, pretty cool. He does RSX adjustable lower control arms, so for toe, they adjust toe. He makes his own, there's not much here that
stuff we can't show.
Mac valve brackets, which I have on the Wagon already, but I don't have a cool one that says NTO on it. Flex fuel sensor brackets. Working on he's got a few things in the works. He's got an EM2 here that we're going to be case swapping soon. It's in the works. It was a hybrid car, so he had to take all the hybrid stuff out of it, all the battery pack. And this car, you wouldn't believe it, but it was up to water. I mean, it was up to the dash in water. Because in case you didn't know, we're in Florida, and we just recently had 2 hurricanes come through, and the shop got flooded really bad. But battery's gone. Everything's ripped out, the subframe's out, all that good stuff. He's got a shelf full of K-Series parts over there.
I've got a motor hanging still on the lifts, on a engine hoist. So we got the engine for it. We just gotta bring it over here and break it down.
It's a 24A2.
24A2, yes, sir.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a head package on it and just refresh it.
Yeah, I got my head over at Martin's in Tampa.
Cool. So Freddy's had some ideas to build a mid plate, and my car, the turbo manifold was built by a guy that goes by Bricks Fab, Javon, and he's actually down in South Florida, and he reached out to me to build a manifold, and I just gave him measurements of what I had to work with, and he built the manifold. And the only issue with that is I didn't account for the rear T-bracket and the rear mount. So the manifold hangs really low, and normally the T-bracket sits in this area. So when the T-bracket comes out, this runner here hits the mount and stuff. So we can't really get in there to have a rear mount. So rather than changing the manifold or figuring something else out, we're just going to build a mid plate. The Accords factory have a cross member that goes from here across to the factory subframe, but I have a traction bar, so we're just going to attach here and there and make a mid plate. So Freddy's setting up this machine. This machine is going to make the bushings for the Heim joints, right?
Yep, bone ends for the pipes, so that we can first bend the pipe, then make bone ends, weld those into the pipe, and then we got heim joints.
So there'll be the threaded inserts that go into the end of the bar so that the bar can be adjustable.
These are the bigger ones, but basically it's ones like this. They're just a little smaller. They all very
high grade bearings. So this is off. I'm going to use the two bottom attachment points, and we're going to go from, I marked the center line. I use this flat sheet here and place it up against the flat part of the transmission and mark the center line on the traction bar and one on the rear subframe right there. So we're going to, I want to try to attach it more than just here and here. Maybe find, like, use where I have this to as another mounting point, and maybe like the rear motor mount bolt or the transmission to engine bolt, just so that there's four, because the car is eventually going to be on slicks and I don't want to have to worry about ripping the bolts out of the motor or the transmission or any of that stuff. So the more the merrier. So now I'm going to find, we have some aluminum, some thin aluminum that bends easy, just to use as a mock-up piece. And we'll see, here it is. It's super, super thin, almost like conduit, but we're gonna use this just to get a starting point to see where we need to bend, and then we'll make a jig per se out of this, and then we'll bend the real stuff. Freddy made these. These are for a EK. I'll insert a picture somewhere in here. But basically it ties in the B pillars to the C pillars, and Freddy made these so that he can use a press to bend the aluminum tubing exactly like a jig, exactly to where they need to be, so that he could produce multiples. But I'll insert a picture of what he made with these. But we're gonna use these to make the bends that we need in the mid plate. I keep calling it a mid plate, but it's really a bar. This is the bar we're gonna be using. Freddy, what's the specs on this bar? What is this?
120 wall DOM. So
1 inch, 120 wall DOM is what the main bar is gonna be made out of. And then we're gonna make a plate out of steel that's gonna be welded to this, that actually attaches this to the engine and transmission. That's beautiful. It works so good.
It does. You can only go like, 15, 20 degrees. If I tried to go 30 degrees, I'm pretty sure I'd start denting the integrity of the wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is nothing crazy. It's not structural. We're just supporting, a rocking motion on an engine.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Any more, and I think you would start to deform it in a bad way.
Yeah. All right, so we got our first bend.
So close.
Freddy's setting up the machine now. We're gonna take a big bar end in his hand, and we're gonna turn that into the insert, the sleeve, or not a sleeve, the insert that's gonna slide into the end of the bar and be threaded for the heim joint to thread into.
I can simulate it here so we can see what's going to happen in a 2D fashion. It looks right. I got to gauge some tools still, but that's way too low.
You can't see anything, but
Probably not. And hopefully she'll drop down.
all right, so while Freddy's working on the inserts for the bar, I'm working on the part that's going to attach to the motor or the transmission. So we've got these 3 bolt holes for now, and this is, I believe, 1/4 inch thick, It's probably overkill, but I'd rather it be overbuilt than underbuilt. So I got it all marked out. We're gonna cut this. I'm probably gonna cut inside the line on this one because the car still has a factory flywheel right now and it sticks out. So I'm just gonna make a provision for it. And I have an aftermarket clutch to put in it after all the mock-up stuff is done. So I'm gonna cut this out and drill the holes. And hopefully by then Freddy will be done with the inserts and we could start gluing some metal together. All right, I got the holes drilled. It's 1/4 inch material, so it's kind of hard. It took a little bit, but we got that. And here we have the bar with one of the machined ends already in it. We got one more coming, but this is basically going to sit something like that. Obviously it'll be finished a lot nicer and basically welded along the side here. And then this is going to go to the rear subframe and this is going to go to the traction bar up here. And we're going to cut the plate probably right in front of where the bell housing finishes. So that's the game plan.
Thank God I heard it.
Just like that, we've got one tab. And we need 4 of these. And this is going to get welded to the traction bar, 2 of these. And then 2 of these will go to the rear subframe. And then this is where the mid plate will attach to.
Shane went for pizza, so he asked me to record some video. I just cut that little tab off of there because grinding that with a grinder would have took long. And I'm semi-lazy. So, cut that out of there. This is still determined to shape until we put the bar across the traction bar and subframe. Then we can cut this to fit that pipe that we're making with the hind joints and then tack it all together and she should be done.
All right, so it's been a couple of hours. And I've just been working on this bar and I finally got the bracket up there made for it. I'm gonna trim it a little bit, but got this welded in. Well, the bar ends welded in and the heims threaded in. This is just held in there under pressure right now. But making this. Originally, we were gonna use this plate, but it came up short. Like it needed to be like another 1.5 inches taller. So we're gonna ditch it and just make another one. But that, I'm liking the way that looks. I'll probably add a little bit up here so that it sits flush with the block, so that it kind of pushes up on the block and it holds the block in both the front and the back. But I really like how that's coming out. So let's take that down. I'm gonna transfer it to another piece of steel, mark it out, and we'll get to cutting. Got the bar in, got the new plate in. It clears the flywheel so good. Granted, I'm putting an aftermarket flywheel in there, so it really doesn't matter, but there's a little gap at the back, but I'm very, very happy with it. A little side quest. I want to keep power steering in this car, so I had the factory power steering line, and I had the Accord power steering line from the K series. So we cut them and joining them together in holy matrimony. We have power steering now. I just have to run This needs to go that way to the cool. Well, I don't know if I should run a cooler or if I should not. We'll figure that out later. This is the final product. We decided to MIG weld the plate to the bar just because obviously nobody's perfect and there are some gaps that are a little bit, well, the gaps aren't horrible. Back here, it's a little wide. But
it is what it is. This is great. It fits fucking perfectly.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Like, so great. It's bolt-on one side, and we only have to weld 2 tabs onto the whole freaking car.
Oh yeah, we need to do that. Those are just tacked right now.
Nice.
So we need to do that real quick. We're gonna lop off these tabs because these are the factory ones for like a H or an F series, and then these are the ones that we added on for the mid plate. But we're gonna do that and probably start it when we finish.
You got that cut off, locked off?
Yeah, I did. We changed the down pipe into an up pipe because I don't feel like doing an exhaust right now. So yeah, I need a thermostat housing, which Pablo has. So once I get that, we can do the cooling system, and then it will be drivable, like drivable.
Brakes.
Oh yeah, brakes. I keep forgetting about brakes. Had the ABS delete it because it's an EX, and the ABS pumps at like in this area.
I have a really bad tendency of cleaning cars that are in the shop. So just saying.
I planned on doing it anyway.
Cleaned in here before you get back. It'll all be in here. It's just gonna be in boxes or bags.
Well, it sat in the garage for a very long time, and
You got a lot of stuff though.
there was a lot of stuff sitting on top of it. I like anything for it, I just kind of threw in here. It's been sitting for almost 2 years now. So the return of the spool bus is closer than we think.
And I expect things to get remade, I'm sure, once it's running. But
Oh, yeah.
The goal right now is
Make it work. So also we're gonna do a headlight intake at some point. So Alright, so she is, well, we're done for the day.
Sis is gonna drop in, re-weld it.
Huh?
He's gonna pull it all off.
I'm gonna pull it off because I have to cut off these. And then I want to finish welding these. Not that it matters because it's only holding the radiator, but like, it's overkill for the radiator, but it is what it is. But it runs. The engine doesn't move anymore. So next step is coolant, brake lines, bunch of little shit over there. Yeah, I have to put, oh, that was with no oil to the turbo either. So yeah. What's up, guys? So it's been a few weeks and here she is. I've been driving it. It's probably got about, I don't know, 500 miles on it now, and it runs great. I want to revise the cooling system a little bit, possibly do a RSX or a TSX intercooler radiator, and do or use factory style hoses, TSX or RSX, just because I feel like the half size radiator, mine might be clogged, and the upper hose is kind of complex, and next year I want to do sick week. Pablo and I just got done with sick week. Didn't go that great. I'm sure you guys have seen the video. But if I do need to change something on the road, I would prefer to use stuff off the shelf that isn't custom and I don't have to make new things. So I just wanted to film an outro for this video and let you guys know that I will be doing more. I just haven't really wanted to, you know, tune the car and beat on the car yet, just because it's been down for 2 years and I just want to drive it and enjoy it, to be honest. And I've taken the family out, we've gone out to dinner, we've done all kinds of stuff. I've driven the car everywhere. It's been to a few car meets already, and I just want to enjoy it for a little bit. But soon we will be doing something, because I do have a K24 that's been completely refreshed, ARP rod bolts, ARP head studs, the usual stuff. And I do have a 6-speed TSX transmission with a 5.1 final drive, which should make the longer 6-speed TSX gearing nice for a turbo car. So I want to do that stuff, and probably change the injectors, because they're 2200s but they're old, and I have noticed that they have like a weird breakup issue, and I put them in my injector cleaner, and I haven't, they don't look bad to me, but I feel like there's something wrong with them, so I'm going to change them just to be safe. But the game plan will make 550, 600. I'd like to take it to H-Day in Maryland, which is April 15th and 16th, if I remember correctly. Pablo might be taking his car if we could get his car fixed. But it's all up in the air, but I definitely want to start making it out and doing some more events. So that's going to be the end of it. Thank you for watching, if you've made it this far, and stay tuned. I am definitely going to start uploading more now that life has slowed down a little bit. It's been very hectic. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.